What's happening, YouTube? What's up? So I had a personal request asked to me. This is in the smooth jazz groove, jazz pop, adult contemporary. These were huge crossover hits with pop, adult, instrumental tracks. Which one did I think was the better? The battle is Alpert Rise, Feel So Good, Chuck Mangione. Wow, where do I begin? Feel So Good came out in 77. And I remember when I saw Chuck Mangione on the cover, I thought he was Ron O'Neal from Superfly because of the perm, the blowout. And I said, hey, Ron O'Neal doubling up playing trumpet with the perm with the pimp hat on the right. Feel So Good instrumental was one of the most catchiest instrumental songs of the last 50 years. And it made Chuck Mangione a household name seem like overnight. I mean, it was huge. And it was one of those songs that you couldn't get away from. It had that kind of the 9-minute version, and it takes you to a certain era and time period. And I remember just hearing the color of it and the vibe of it. It's like Bill Conti doing Rocky's theme. There's certain themes that you hear instrumental and you remember where you were and how they hit you and how they feel. Now, some people liked it. Some people thought it was lightweight. It all depends on how your interpretation of it. Feels So Good was one of those songs that, the tone and the build up, it was a certain song that just kind of had a way of just kind of, doing what it did. So, and sometimes when you hear a song like that, you're just kind of caught off guard, like, wow, that song really sounds like an anthem. It really sounds like a power play. Sounds like something that you're going to remember. And it still resonated for quite some time. Like I said, it made Chuck Mangione a household name. So, what were you going to say about it? It just had a certain way that it hit you, it made you feel, and it just kind of stayed on the pulse with you. So it was like one of those songs, like an anthem. It felt like it should have been part of Olympics or something, had that feel. Then we get to Alpert Rise. That bass, that groove, that lock, that pocket, it had that doom. It just kind of hit you, and but it had a West Coast feel about it, you know. It was something about it that kind of put me in a frame of mind of an area and a place. It was just that groove, and it was really catchy and whatnot. Now, I had known that he had done This Guy's in Love and stuff like that, and of course the Tijuana Brass and Taste the Honey, but this groove was like, whoa, that was really hitting. And he did on Soul Train, and seeing that was a big deal, along with him being running the A&M Ruckus, which Chuck Mangione was home with Chuck Mangione. So this is a real interesting who in-house guys with the trumpets and how they rise and everything like this. Now, obviously, there's a whole generation of people who know Rise by another name. They know it by Hypnotize, done by Notorious B.I.G.